This episode of the Gamerheads podcast is brought to you by Seven Bridges Premium Gourmet Yum Yum Sauce. Enhance every bite with our savory blends of flavors, perfect for meats, vegetables, and crispy treats. Whether you're dipping, drizzling, marinating, grilling, roasting, or snacking, Seven Bridges Yum Yum Sauce takes your culinary experience to the next level. Get yours today and make every meal a gourmet delight. Hey, what's up, everyone? This week, we are going to actually cut this episode into two parts. It went a little bit longer than what I expected, so we'll separate this into two parts. The first part will be today, and then next week will be the second part. So stay tuned for the second half of the show next week, but enjoy the first half here. All right, everyone, on with the show.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Mega Cat Studios.
Hey, this is Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon from Reignite, Screen Snark, and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bunte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastion with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Lv1 Gaming.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
What's good, y'all? This is Adam from Respawn Aim Fire.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master. And you're listening to Roger You're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me this week, I have the CEO and president of Gamerheads. We have Phil. Phil, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm hanging out in my basement in my presidential chair, as has been pointed out by our guest Baron, who says that I'm living like a grandfather, and I'm totally cool with that.
Yes, Mike is mentioned last week. Mike is out, and I mentioned last week that Baron from Lv1 Gaming is going to be joining us this week. So, Baron, welcome to the show.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to talk. Hey, but yeah,
it's a
I was
podcast,
sitting here,
Baron, not a video cast.
I'm just sitting here.
I know you're looking all handsome and stuff. You're like, hey, and I'm like, well, there's no video to this. There's no video.
But no, So I'm just actually really happy to be here, especially to get my mind off the craziness that's going on. Gaming.
That's right. Yes. Well, welcome, Baron. And then I mentioned last week we're gonna have another special guest. And I didn't mention who it was because I didn't text Sebastion. I was like, no, actually, that's not true. I did text you. You didn't text me back. You didn't text me back. So we have Sebastion on the show.
You can't call him out on the air. He's a guest. You do that shit behind the scenes. That's what the green room's for. Brutal.
He's absolutely right, because I have a bad tendency of like reading the text message, typing up the text message, and just forgetting to hit send. Like
that's true. There's times, Sebastion, I love you like a brother, but there's times where I'm like, I wrote to you, and then all of a sudden I don't hear from you for like 3 days, and you're like, oops, I meant to send this 3 days ago.
I did. That's how I know you guys are really good friends, because I do that to everybody. And I feel like I have to level up my friendship with Roger by ignoring his messages. There's still a strong level of business in this.
There is.
I can tell because I respond very quickly.
You did. I wrote to you, and it was like instant. You like wrote back, yeah, that'll work, dude. That'll work.
This is too much business. I need to become better friends. I will ignore your next message.
Thank you.
Like for real though, like Roger will hit me up, and then like I'll be playing the game. Somebody will hit me up with a message.
Yeah, you guys are good friends.
Like all of a sudden, something will happen. I'll be watching something. I'll be like, oh shit, let me go watch this real quick, and then I'm like, and then like I have a habit of when I pick up my phone again and unlock it, I immediately press the home button. First thing I do is press the home button. So like I forget what I was doing when I have it. Like it's back on reset as far as I'm concerned. So like. Yeah,
Oh,
and then when I go to the messages, I'm like, oh snap, that's on draft. Okay, let me send that off real quick.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, what did I send you? What are we responding to? I don't even remember what I asked. Oh, that's right. We're
Dude,
talking
that's why
about
I
this
quit
topic.
using Snapchat, because I don't have that kind of memory retention. Like, if somebody sent me a message on Snapchat, I'd read it, put it away, be like, I'll get back to it eventually, and then I'd pick it up and they'd be like, yeah, well, what do you think? And I'd be like, oh shit, what did you send me? Because I'm also really good at not responding to messages, just because like sometimes I see them on my phone or like on my watch, and I'll just be like, I'll get to that eventually. Clear the notification, then I go to send like a text message 6 hours later. I'm like, oh fuck, I never got back to that one. So I'm everybody's best friend according to parents.
That's true. That's true.
And it's bad right now, man, because the TV is on fire right now. I'm like, I got House of the Dragon that I'm cooking with. I'm like, I got The Boys that I'm watching. I'm like, one of my favorite shows right now, The Bear, just started. I'm like, so you hit me up right now, you might not hear back from me until like 5 to 10 business days. Sometimes.
There was one time I didn't hear from you for like a week, and I was like, "Oh my god, what happened? Did something happen to Sebastion?" And no, you're just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Actually, you were like, "Oh no, I was at like my mother-in-law's in the middle of nowhere." So I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure. I'm from Texas, in a rural, like my hometown's in a rural area of Texas. So I'm like, you send a text message out there, like I might get it at like 8 the next morning. So I'm like, signal spotty out there. Yeah. That's where you go to kill somebody.
Or in 3 different pieces.
You gotta go triangulate the surface.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Like, I really do. Like, I kid you not. Like, I walk out my mom's house. I have to go up the road and, like, hold my phone up a little bit. Yep. And I'm like, oh, snap. Somebody sent me a message.
Yeah.
My girlfriend swears if you hold your phone upside down, you get better reception. Try that sometime and see if it works. She claims the antenna for a cell phone's in the bottom of it.
Wisdom.
That's funny.
She also thinks that if you put your remote starter under your chin and you point at your car while hitting it, it acts like an antenna, and you get like an extra 5 feet out of it.
Why do I want to try all of these?
I'm not making this shit up, dude. This is all real stuff that she believes.
Wait. Does she think to use her TV remote? Can it work the same way?
No, because that's IR, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's lights.
Sure.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, everybody, and welcome to our patrons. Welcome, Jill. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Sarah. Thank you so much for supporting the Gamerheads podcast. And listener, you can also support the Gamerheads podcast for as low as $3 a month. You can become part of the Gamerheads Nation. Just go out to patreon.com/gamerheads, and I'll put a link in the show notes as well. And then I'll put a link to everybody's either site and also social media that's on the podcast here. So you should go follow them as well and give them reviews and support independent games journalism. So, all right, gentlemen, the reason I have you on this week is Sebastion has this, I don't know, a segment, something that you came up with, and I like, you and I were doing these segments for a while, and I just thought these were brilliant segments, and it was called, I'm going to butcher it, but I think it's like something, nothing, or everything, or one of those orders. And you tell us like a topic, like a news topic or something, and you ask us, do you think that's something, nothing, or everything? And I should let you describe it because this is your segment, not my segment. But I asked Sebastion to come on, and I asked Baron to join us too, and we wanted to do kind of like a big round table type discussion around some of these topics. And I don't really know what these topics are going to be. Sebastion has, I said, you put this all together, Sebastion, and I let him go let him go at it. So go ahead, Sebastion, lead this segment here. I'm done. I'm turning this over to you, but I guess the CEO does have a question.
Okay.
I was not warned I was gonna have to think this episode. I gotta go.
Fair.
I'm sorry, boss, but you're gonna be in this. So
I see the leave button on my screen. I can press it. Damn it.
Yeah. So Sebastion, why don't you give us a lowdown of how this is going to work, and take us in.
All right. So everyone, welcome to Something, Nothing, or Everything, what I like to consider the spiciest segment in all of video games. Now, here's how it's going to go tonight. So I'm going to bring up a topic. It can be a question, or it can be just a topic, or maybe even an opinion, maybe even a comment that someone wrote about something. And y'all are going to tell me whether or not it's something, meaning this is either marginally of importance or like kind of important, but not all the way important. Almost like, you know, when you go to a restaurant and you tell them, I don't want onions, but they leave onions on there, you know, like, it's not the deal breaker. It's not like you just go into the restaurant and you got to handle your business, you know, 2-piece somebody up.
Unless you're allergic to onions. Once you're allergic to onions.
Depending on this is actually a great thing for something, nothing, or everything.
Yeah, because
depending on.
So that's in a marginal part though.
Yeah.
No, you might consider that everything though, or somebody might consider that just a little bit of something. Or, you know, or someone's like, oh, there's nothing. I don't want onions, but I'll still eat it anyway. It might be a nothing piece. So, like,
I want this to be a topic. Can we just run with this onions on something that's fucked up and just go with this now?
This is serious.
Like, this is a real thing for me.
Okay, so let's start with this. You know, like,
is this a good warm up? Is this a good warm up? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Before you go though, I consider everything like a top tier. This is really everything. This is almost the equivalent of someone like a grown man that you don't know barging into your house, walking up to your couch, putting his feet on your coffee table while he sits on your couch, looks at you in your eyes and say, "Hey, go in there and make me a sandwich." That's everything. You know,
you got a machete for reasons like that.
Yeah, you got to take care of business after that. It's you or him after that, as far as that goes. So I feel like the something it's a marginal thing. It's somewhere in the middle. The nothing is it's a nothing burger. It's, you know, you don't worry about it. So let's start off with, if someone forgets or someone actually accidentally puts like food that you requested at a restaurant not to be on your plate and they still put it on in your entree, is that something, nothing, or everything?
Well, it depends what the food is. If it's like, so for my son, for instance, like, and I'll give you an example here. I went to, I don't know if you guys have Erberts and Gerberts. I know Phil has Erberts and Gerberts.
It's a sub place.
It's a sub place. It's a sub place.
In the Midwest is Erberts and Gerberts.
Or we like to call them Herbs and Gerbs. Phil, is this funny? I'm confused. Why are they laughing?
It's funny as hell, dude. It's funny.
So I went to Herbs and Gerbs. Okay.
Okay.
I got an Herbs and Gerbs guy.
I want merch.
Wait, there is merch.
I'm gonna order it.
I'm gonna go buy some, and I'll bring it to PAX, and I'll give you a shirt that says Herbs and Gerbs. It's cool.
If they have enamel pins, I want one.
Okay,
I need to look at
that. So for a mainstream like fast food place that we'd all know about, what is the equivalent of our Herbs
like
and
Subway,
Gerbs?
like a Subway?
Okay,
it's higher.
No, it's better. It's better. It's like
it's higher end than Subway.
Yeah, it's
they don't know what a Cousins is either, Roger.
They don't know what a Cousins Subs is?
No,
you guys don't know what Cousins Subs?
They don't know what Cousins are either.
What? You guys don't have Cousins Subs? What is going on here? Do you guys have Jimmy John's?
Roger doesn't leave the Midwest much. And he lives in a city of 20,000 people. So you were talking to somebody that's in a very, very small bubble. You're going to hear some shit out of Roger's mouth when he's just talking about fast food and food places. That's going to blow you guys' fucking minds.
So there's
a real place. Jimmy John's? Do you have Jimmy John's?
Yeah, we have Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's.
Okay.
That's a real place, though. Like Jimmy John's is
so is Cousins. So is Herbs and Gerbs. You know, when you're in Milwaukee, Sebastion, they might have had Herbs and Gerbs. They certainly had a Cousin Subs in Milwaukee. Oh my God, I cannot believe you guys don't have Cousin Subs. Do you have Topper's Pizzas there?
No, Jesus, they don't.
No, Toppers?
What is Toppers?
Toppers sounds
it's
like
a pizza. It's a pizza place. It's like the best pizza place.
Barrett's already wiping tears out of his eyes. Barrett is broken. 12 minutes, 9 seconds into this podcast, and Barrett is broken.
Like real talk, Toppers sounds like the Midwest equivalent of Magic City in Atlanta.
I was gonna say, I thought it was a club.
It sounds like a ladies' club, like a nightclub. You know?
Hey, you going to Toppers?
Hey. Hey,
Chardonnay's dancing tonight.
Yeah,
if I show up, let me tell you, if I show up and there's not pizza there, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take you to Toppers when you get out here. They got one in LA. Like we can go to Toppers.
Now, dude, they got a Shakey's in LA. Let's not get those two things confused. Also, Shakey's could be a gentleman's club.
Well, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
All you can eat chicken and pizza at lunch, and at nighttime, all bets are off. That's when the Shakey's really come out.
Hey, that's a. If I ever won the lotto, I'd buy the right today.
Not herbs and gerbs?
No.
That sounds like a sickness.
It's what happens when your drug dealer's got pneumonia.
Yeah.
It does sound like it sounds like a marijuana dispensary. You know,
Absolutely,
it really
man.
does. It really does. Like,
It's a dispensary with a food shack attached to it. It's actually the food truck in front of the dispensary is what that shit is.
Oh my god.
So imagine going to a sub place. Okay, let's go back to what I was trying to explain.
Okay.
So you go to a sub place. You go to a sub place and they put cheese on my son's sandwich, but he's allergic to dairy, so he can't eat cheese, and that really pisses me off. So that's everything to me. That is everything.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, if I ordered it, right, and I said no cheese, and they put cheese on it, I'd just take the cheese and throw it away. Or just like whatever, I don't care, right? So like that's where I would say, like, for me, when it comes to my son, it's everything. When it comes to me, it's nothing. I don't care. I don't give a shit, right?
So something, nothing, or everything. What toppings do y'all think at this adult place called Toppers? What toppings of pizza do y'all think is actually gonna be on the pizza there? Because you got to do pepperoni, right, at this club, but you got to do pepperoni, right? But you can't do something like wild
And olives.
And olives. Yeah, I was like, do you go wild?
I was thinking of anchovies as well.
Yeah, it's a staple.
That's why I dare say it. I thought it was going to be sausage.
There's not anchovies.
That's at Bottomers, Roger, not at Toppers.
Oh.
So anchovies. It's going to be smelling like pizza, cheese, and sweat.
It does smell really sweaty in there. I'm not gonna lie; it's really hot in this Toppers. Have you ever been to a Toppers?
I've never been to a Toppers, but I've driven
Oh, you
past
haven't?
them.
Okay. No, I mean, no. The Toppers is known for their triple order of breadsticks. It's like basically a large pizza. It's just breadsticks, but it's just breadsticks. It's just, and then imagine this is. I'm not joking. They take big handfuls, like huge handfuls of mozzarella, and just like dump it on. It is the most amazing thing you've ever had. It is like heaven. Then you die because you eat that, but it's
Toppers.
Amazing.
Sounds like
Toppers.
an experience.
Is it a $20 charge to get in Toppers?
And a 2-drink
And I
minimum.
wear sweatpants.
Yeah, but no colors.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I told y'all it's gonna get spicy tonight. It's gonna get
We got
spicy
spicy
tonight.
fast.
If we really did.
We did.
We went off to the races. So
Yeah.
all right, so
I want to chime in on this, the actual food discussion portion of it.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that
go
makes
ahead.
sense for you to chime in. Yeah.
Well, here's my big problem. I don't like raw onions. In most food, you can pick out a raw onion. Sauteed onions, I got no problems with. Yesterday, I went to a place, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's called Taco Bell.
Oh yeah,
Do you have what is it, Taco John's? Do you have Taco John's?
They don't
by
have
you guys?
Taco John's. They do not.
They don't have Taco John's either?
No.
What is wrong?
Wait. Please tell me you're joking.
No, it's a real thing.
No, it's a real place.
Right?
No, Taco John's is a real place.
Taco
It's a
John's
big
is
Midwest
real.
taco spot. It's better
Yeah.
taco than Taco Bell is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
But still, hold on. So in the Midwest, they have Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Do they have like a Taco Bueno?
No Taco Buenos. No Del Tacos either.
No Del Tacos? Okay.
No.
Okay. So
Hey,
Taco
Del Taco
John's,
has
though.
the best cheeseburgers.
Del
Like
Taco?
with somebody else. Yes.
yeah,
They grill the bread.
Uh-huh.
They grill the bread.
We have
So-
Taco John's though.
Do they make good burgers?
No, they just make
Taco
tacos.
They make good potato lays, though. What's a
Oh,
potato
yeah,
lay? It's
potato
kind of like a
lays.
tater tot
Oh,
that's
yeah.
shaken in a special seasoning.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh, so
Comes with
good.
nacho cheese dip. It's dope.
And sour cream. If you get the Supreme, you get sour cream on top of that, and some green onions. Oh, so good.
Okay, what is your mascot? So I know you're not making this up.
Dude, it's a fucking Latino dude with a sombrero on. And it's a company that's based out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, of all places. But they make some really good ass tacos.
They do make
You know what's crazy? Looking at the website, it reminds me of like Del Taco's marketing.
Yeah,
like,
very much so.
But it's funny because the fonts have like no seasoning at all. So me being in Southern California, like if it's a taco anything, it has a little cultural seasoning there.
Yeah.
There's that's very Midwest. It's very
from
Midwest.
fucking Cheyenne, Wyoming, dude. They don't know what seasoning is. Seasoning is salt.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow, and then
it's like the whitest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then the taco is like, if you searched PDF taco, like I need a PNG of a taco. Yeah. That's the image of the taco. Wow.
Yeah, it's just bold font.
Yeah.
It's not sans serif or anything cool. It's just like block font.
Here's what you guys don't understand is at Christmas time, they do something called Nachos Navidad.
What?
I'm looking this up.
It's all on green and red chips, just like Navidad.
Yeah,
the Nachos Navidad commercial.
Yep. It's a whole commercial. They got a marketing team.
I'm not gonna lie to you motherfuckers about Taco John's.
This looks good.
It's good. It isn't good. It is good. Taco John's is good.
It looks good. I'm gonna just say it don't look bad. Like
I'm right there with you. So
they got olives.
They do. Let me tell you,
it's like a make or break thing, though.
It's better than Taco Bell. I'll just say that.
I agree.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
So Phil, is it something, nothing, or everything for you?
Again, it really depends on the food. For my example that I'm going to use, I went to Taco Bell yesterday, and I'm kind of a basic bitch sometimes, and I fucking love bean burritos. But again, I hate raw onions. So I order 2 bean burritos, no onions, couple of chili cheese burritos, whatever. Distinctly said no onions. Dude's like, anything else for you? The screen doesn't say no onions. And I'm like, yeah, just please make sure no onions in that bean burrito.
I'll take that bad boy back.
I take my first bite out of the bean burrito and there's onions in it. Like, kills the entire experience. I just chuck both burritos. I'm like, fuck it, I'm eating $3, I guess. Because, like, I can't eat raw onions. It's a texture thing. Like, it's not a flavor thing. It's totally a texture thing. Like, it just kills the entire experience for me. If I order a cheeseburger with no onions on it and it comes with raw onions on it, no problem. I can pick the shit out of that. That's not an issue in the slightest bit. But when it's inside of something that's wrapped and gooey and you can't really get around it, it's an everything. When it's on a burger, it's a nothing because I can fix that myself.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Baron, what do you think?
So I'm gonna stick with the burrito scenario. So when it's an everything is when you order a burrito that's not supposed to have lettuce. And then there's that random wet lettuce.
And it's always bullshit lettuce at these places, too. It just tastes like plastic bag. It's never good lettuce.
And then it just ruins everything around it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, so that is everything. But for the most part, I don't have any allergies. And I'm fat and food tastes great. So for me, I can work with it. Outside of extreme spice.
Really?
Spice to hurt? Like, not spice for flavor, but spice where you get your picture put up on a wall if you finish your meal.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And that will ruin... so my first time having a spicy McChicken, which was too spicy for me.
What?
Yeah, it was too spicy for me because I wasn't ready. I don't know.
Okay.
So we didn't have them in Southern California. These are new things. Okay, folks, at McDonald's, there was a point in time where in Southern California, you could not get sweet tea. You could not get a spicy chicken sandwich.
What?
These things did not exist in Southern California McDonald's for up until maybe about 15 years ago. Like these are all fairly recent in the grand scheme of fast food.
Wow.
So I go to Vegas. This is back when the dollar menu was still a real thing. And I'm in line and I'm happy. We're buzzing. And I'm like, hey, let me get 2 chicken sandwiches and an apple pie. That's the order.
Oh no.
Damn chicken sandwiches murdered my stomach.
Oh no.
I was down for a night. It just because I wasn't ready, and you got some other things going on, and then you just mix it together, and it didn't work for nobody. It was bad night. But yes. It's a something.
Do you like the ghost pepper sauce at Taco Bell? Is that too hot for you?
I don't even try it. Why would I want to do that to myself?
It's not hot though.
No, but sir, you're not listening. You said ghost pepper.
Yeah.
There's literally challenges. No, that's cool. But see, I don't need to touch the flaming fire to know if it's hot. Like I don't. It's not worth. Like I'll do a chipotle mayo. I'll do a chipotle sauce aioli like that because to me chipotle is flavor. But when you say ghost pepper, that's pain.
Yeah,
I don't need there's nothing like, sir, you're not listening. Like you're not.
No,
this is everything.
But fair.
Yeah, sure.
It's Taco Bell ghost pepper. They're not gonna make it hot. They're not.
No,
gonna
but
make
it's
it
still
hot.
got ghost pepper. in it.
But
I'm with Baron on this.
It does.
Hey, oh man. Hey, I don't want spicy food. Oh well, just try this ghost pepper.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a ghost pepper aioli. Like,
you guys have Buffalo Wild Wings, right? You guys have Buffalo Wild Wings, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to go order the ghost pepper.
Yeah, like why would I? Yeah.
Okay.
But so out of curiosity,
yeah.
If it's spicy but it has good flavor, are you okay with it?
I love Indian food. Let's just like that just for as an example. I like, man. Look, Indian food, I love it, and that is a good level of spice. Like I walk out of there sweating.
Yep.
But if it's spicy at the Indian food spot, if it's got a chili next to it, I'm not ordering that.
Right.
Because that your
you
food's
already let me know.
Yeah, thank you for warning me. Just like I'm not gonna go and try the ghost pepper sauce.
No, it's not really spicy though, Baron. My point is it's not.
Sir.
That's a tolerance thing though, man. I work with a lot of Ecuadorians who like mild salsa destroys an Ecuadorian. And their line for cutoff is jalapeno is about as spicy as it possibly gets. Like ketchup is borderline teetering it, man. Like it's almost Norwegian how fucking delicate some people's taste is.
So Roger, here's a good example. Ghost pepper is to sauces and flavors as like any sign that says haunted house.
Okay, that's fair. Sebastion, you make a good point. You have lawyered me. Good point.
I was about to say you ain't got to tell me it's not haunted. The sign said it was haunted.
I'm not going to that. I'm not going to that.
It's
that's
not
right.
that bad.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's right.
It's a historical landmark.
Yeah, I'm not going to that place.
1,000 people were horribly murdered in that building, and there's noises, and nobody's been in there for 50 years.
That's a good point.
Why is the grass green? It doesn't rain here. Like it just like
exactly.
Oh, just go in. It's no biggie.
All right. No, that's a good point. You're a good
Roger,
point.
there's parts of the ocean are 20,000 feet deep. You're only scuba diving to 50.
Okay. All right.
Like ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper, anything with scorpion in it. Nah.
Why is there a warning label on my bag of chips?
If the shit sounds like it's gonna hurt, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Diablo, anything that got it.
Like, if I gotta bless it before I enjoy it, hey, make warning, keep a cup of milk with you before you enjoy.
I'm out now. No.
Don't rub your eyes after eating. Like, what?
We have a challenge here in Dallas where they give you gloves. There's something so hot where they give you gloves for it, and they're like,
putting that in my body.
So I gotta gear up like a damn surgeon to taste the chicken tender? Nah, bro. Like you gotta holler at me when you're sober. Hell no.
Oh, your hands aren't safe, but go ahead and put it on your tongue.
Exactly.
Like what?
No, the worst. Here's the thing: it's not actually bad going in; it's the going out that makes it really bad.
It is bad both ways.
Nah,
I just no.
Nah, man.
I'm so sorry. That was that was the first question.
That was the first. That was a warm up. That was the warm up. That was a warm up question.
All right, so this is a video game related show, so I will kind of pivot a little bit towards video games here with this.
Just a little bit,
but we'll deviate from a little bit. So my first topic: have y'all heard of this little indie game called Elden Ring?
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Small audience, no one's actually played it, but
super
anyways, Elden Ring has once again been dominating sales charts now that the giant expansion Shadow of the Erdtree is out in the wild and kicking most people's asses. But here's something I found interesting this week. This is a story, the official story. But what about Forza Horizon 4, the open world driving game from 6 years ago? At 80% discount is, to take account for this, but Forza Horizon 4 has a bigger fan base and player base right now than Elden Ring.
Oh.
Then Elden Ring currently, like, more concurrent players on Steam right now than Elden Ring. A game from 6 years ago that already has a sequel as well. Is that something, nothing, or everything?
I'll dive into the deep end first.
Okay. Go ahead, Phil.
I'm going to go ahead and call that a something. And the only reason why I'm going to call that a something is because I feel as though, especially at 80% off, a Forza Horizon 4 is a lot more of an approachable game than an Elden Ring is. Where I think an open world driving game appeals to a larger mass of the populace than a Souls-like, just brutal, you're going to get your ass kicked a whole bunch of times before like you can actually progress into it. Where with, say, a Forza, I can go and I can do a bunch of races, maybe finish third, fourth, upgrade my car, jump back into it again, be able to go back in and hit that race and hit first. I personally would probably rather play Forza 4 than I would Elden Ring. So I can understand that stat.
Okay, so I want to kick it off to Baron. Baron, is that something, nothing, or everything?
It's definitely something, because you have to, like, numbers matter until they don't. Yeah. Like, and everybody totes numbers, and it's always, that's always the big driving factor for everything until it doesn't fit anything you want it to fit. Mm-hmm. And this is a prime example. Like, how is it this, like you said, 6-year-old game that already has a sequel that's available on different platforms, including Game Pass, and you have, of course, the price matters, because hey, if I was still in the Hot Wheels and whatnot, and you told me for it's on sale for less than what, like $1?
It's 80% off. So I think
80% off. Okay.
So I think I think I remember seeing it like $11, $11 or $12.
$11 if I was super into cars and I just wanted to pick up something to mindlessly play in between waiting to go to sleep to get up to go back to work. Yep. Like that's a steal. I think the game's gonna look great. Like, Forza games always look great. Like, so it looks great, plays great, and it's dirt cheap. And more people like cars than riding magical billy goats.
I find it funny though, because this was a game of the year though. That a lot of people, this was the chosen one. People jumped on Elden Ring and basically called it like, what did they call the young kid from Dune? When they were calling him the chosen one. Did y'all watch Dune? Yeah. Basically, everyone was bowing down to Elden Ring like they weren't the kid in Dune too. So I'm like, this was the chosen one. This was Anakin Skywalker here. I'm like, but a 6-year-old game, man, that has a sequel, has more concurrent players currently on Steam right now.
Actually, I'll let Roger go first. I was about to say I'll let Roger go first, and then I'll throw in my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think it's nothing. Okay. I think because of what Phil said, I think that because there are just there's so many games, there's something for everyone, but not everything is for someone. Is that how the phrase goes?
Something for everyone, but not everything's for someone.
Yeah, that's right. So, and I do think, like, Elden Ring, that game, like, there's people that love that game, and they like that is their niche. But I do think, like, racing car games just are more accessible for people, and that's just that's just the nature of the beast. Doesn't mean that Elden Ring isn't Game of the Year material. I mean, I still think it should have won the Game of the Year. I think about movies, right? There's lots of movies that win, Best Picture, but like nobody's seen them, right? Or very few people have seen them. Like, I don't know. I just think it's the same thing. Like, just because a game wins Game of the Year doesn't necessarily mean it is the most played game. I mean, there's one game out there that wasn't even nominated, Hogwarts Legacy, made more money than any other game out there last year. Killed it, right? Like,
but here's my counterpoint to that. Elden Ring was a moment, though. Like, you can if you were a gamer, and like your phone basically picked up the algorithm that you were a gamer back when Elden Ring came out, you saw Elden Ring clips. You couldn't turn on a podcast when Elden Ring came out without someone mentioning Elden Ring at least 6 times. It was, it was the Beetlejuice of that year that it came out. Everybody had to say his name over and over again. It overshadowed a God of War Ragnarok, which, God of War, that's a A-level player. it overshadowed that. It had a moment like Hogwarts Legacy, it in that same vein. It made Souls games mainline. It was what they called revolutionary. So I'm like, I agree that I think it's like, it's probably marginal, but I do think it's something though, right?
Mm-hmm. See, I don't know. I just think it's nothing because of the fact that nobody was talking about Hogwarts Legacy, and I understand why. There's politics and things like that, and people didn't want to get involved with it. I get it, but Elden Ring was the hot topic, so of course it's going to be on everybody's podcast, right? Like, because everybody wants to be like, oh, look at my SEO is going to go up if I talk about Elden Ring. I'm like, I have to talk about the hottest thing. It's like, it's going to be the FOMO if I don't talk about it, right? Like. So to me, it's not that shocking that everybody was talking about it because they heard everybody else was talking about it, which then spreads everybody else talking about it. Doesn't necessarily mean that everybody was playing it though. It just means that was a hot topic that everybody wanted to latch on at that moment. I still think, I don't know. I mean, but I guess the question was, is it a bigger deal that has a lower player base than this Forza game that came out 6 years ago? And I still think that's nothing. I think that it's just the nature of who plays those types of games.
Okay. So I in hearing all of your answers, I have a follow-up.
Okay.
All right. So the follow-up. Today, Bandai Namco and developer FromSoft proudly announced that Elden Ring expansion Shadow of the Erdtree has sold 5 million copies in its first 3 days of release. That's disgusting. An excellent result, to say the least. As a reminder, the base game had sold 20 million units in its first year and 25 million as of this exact month, June 2024. So, gentlemen, with that in mind, let's do a follow-up here. I want to kind of get the whole breadth of the story here. Is Elden Ring sales something, nothing, or everything? And then in hearing that new piece of information, the 25 million, the 25, the 25 million, the 20 million, the what was it? What was it in 3 days?
5 million in 3 days.
5 million in 3 days. Is it now? I want to ask you: is the Forza story something, nothing, or everything, or is Elden Ring sales right now something, nothing, or everything? Your interpretation of the question. What is your interpretation of the question? I want to hear your answers. Phil, I'm going to start with you.
I feel like that's a something, and this is going to harken back to what I was kind of going to say beforehand as well. I feel as though Elden Ring is a game that a lot of people played very heavily for the week or 2 or 3 or 4 that it took them to beat it. But when you get a new piece of DLC like this, then you got to pick it up and almost have to relearn how to play it 1.5 years, 2 years later. And it's not the style of game that's an easy one to pick back up and get into. So, God, man, I mean, it's still something. That's still a huge chunk.
That's a huge chunk.
If 1 out of every 5 of your players is picking up the first piece of DLC that comes out for it, I don't know what the pricing is. Like, that's a something. That's you got 5 million people that are still trying to come back to your game and get back in and want some more, which I totally get.
$40, by the way.
40. Did they release an Ultimate Edition that it was included in? And if so, is the DLC included in that Ultimate Edition?
I don't think there's an Ultimate Edition yet. I think
there's
a
double pack.
Yeah, gotcha. I think there's a double. Yeah. So, but I think like Shadow of the Erdtree right now is a $40 MSRP.
That is a big ass expansion in that case. Does anybody? I'll still say huge. The number is something like that's. Mm-hmm. If somebody's willing to throw, because you spent 60 to 70 on it originally, you're throwing another 40 at it, now bringing you up to 110, that speaks volumes for what you did for the game. Like, people obviously love the game and they're coming back for it. There's a lot of single A or AAA titles that come out that don't even get 5 million players as is, because we'll take Anthem, for example. I don't know how many people played Anthem.
Blade.
But I mean, yeah, like, they didn't sell 5 million copies at all. And if you've got a fifth of what bought your original game to come back and buy a second chunk at $40, that's definitely a something.
And it hasn't even been out a full week yet.
Right.
Nah, man. There's
a lot of people that haven't even gotten paid since it came out. So who knows how much more that sale is going to come out.
So, Baron,
we haven't hit Friday yet.
Is this something, nothing, or everything? Elden Ring sales, the comparison with Forza Horizon. Do you think all this is something, nothing, or everything?
You know what? We keep forgetting that. I'll say it's. I'm gonna move towards. Roger. I'm gonna say it's a nothing, only because we keep forgetting how big the world is, and it's easier for me to sell somebody a car game and get them to play a car game than it would ever be for me to sell them a FromSoft game and get them to play it. Like if I could take these two games and walk in front of any group of people, and I will run out of Forza copies before I'd run out of Elden Ring copies. Just on, once again, I know what a car is. Cars are, and you're telling me this will let me drive the dream car that I got a poster of on my wall or on my screenshot on the screen, the background of my phone. It's easier to grasp and easier to, I could probably get my mom to play Forza, but I probably couldn't get my mom to play Elden Ring.
No, no.
Like, that's, and I think that's why it's kind of a nothing, because cars versus magical billy goats.
Roger, do you have any?
Okay. But to the numbers, the sales of the game, that is going to cause, that's a everything, because now you're going to have folks saying, well, it's $40, it was 30 hours of gameplay. Why can't this be considered for Game of the Year again? It's like it. I mean, Helldivers was $40.
See, man, you're getting a little ahead of me because
I was gonna
ask you. I was gonna ask you. So that's a good segue. I like that because Roger. Before I segue, do you want to speak a little bit more on this topic?
Yeah. I mean, what Baron said, I agree. It's nothing when it comes to the Forza, just because I just think that it's easier to sell a Forza game, right? Because people understand that. But I do think it's something in regards to the number of sales. Like, that's for those that worked on the game and that are selling the game, like, that's really big for them, right? That
for sure.
That within, like, the first year they got 20 million sales, and then within the first 3 days of the DLC releasing, they got 5 million sales, right? Like, that's really awesome. Like, kudos to them. That's amazing. That means that they have what that means is they have a good loyal fan base for the game, and that's awesome. And that means that they can continue to probably build off of that and continue to sell. So, like, kudos to them that they can do that. So that's something. I mean, that's actually more than something. I agree with Baron. That's actually everything to them, to that team. That's everything. That's a big deal. I just think that when you're comparing, user base compared to the Forza, I don't know. They're not competing with Forza, right? Like, they're not thinking that's our competition. What they're thinking is probably their competition is other things, like other entertainment that they could be spending their time with, not necessarily maybe video games. So
okay. So I would, Roger, since you just spoke, I would like you to choose the destiny of where I go next, because we have category A or category B, and both of them bring some heat here. So, and they're both follow-ups to what we've been talking about. So
okay. Well, let's go with category B for Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so category B. Is this something, nothing, or everything that a 6-year-old game is Xbox's leader in sales this year, and that's Forza Horizon 4? Is that something, nothing, or everything?
Oh, and who's going first? Who's going first here?
Phil,
Baron?
You want to go first?
We're gonna throw me out first on an Xbox question? That's bullshit.
All right. If Baron's hiding, so I'm gonna go with Roger on this one. You want to go first?
So the question is it everything that this Forza game that came out 6 years ago is their highest selling game? Is that
right? As of right now, it is their highest selling game.
Like, over the last 6 years or this year?
Over this year. This current year.
This year. Oh, this year.
Yes.
Then I would say that's something. At least something. Because, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe this is a oversaturated market, and maybe that's why.
Ooh,
I don't know.
You think so?
Well, I mean, or it's not saturated enough. I don't know. I guess it's one or the other, right? Like, see, here's the thing that's hard for me. Like, are we talking about just Xbox Studio games? Is that what we're comparing it to? Or are we talking about anything that's on the
Xbox?
Games. Okay, then
First
it is.
Party.
Then it's not oversaturated. Then it's not saturated enough, right? There's not enough options. I was thinking like anything that's on the Xbox. Yeah. So then I would say it's something. I don't know if it's something that Xbox needs to panic over, but it's certainly like eye-opening to them, saying why either the games that have released just aren't connecting with their player base, or user base, I should say, or they need to get more out there. So I would say it's something. I don't know if it's a panic moment though.
Okay, so let me ask you this follow-up question. So, do you think it would be a panic mode for PlayStation if Uncharted 3, for instance, was their leading seller this year over God of War, over everything they put out, right? Everything they put out, over Concord that's about to come out, over
So, but I still think it's because of the game appeal. I still, I mean, is it a question of like they're just not producing games that are appealing to their general player base or user base on the Xbox, or they're just not putting out enough games, right? So if they're coming up with games that people are like, that's just not for me, but Forza is, like, I still don't know if it's a moment of panic for Xbox. I guess that's my point.
Keep in mind, they already put out a sequel to this exact game. And this is outselling the sequel that they put out.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I'm just bringing up little statements.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to sway you one way or another.
I know my guests here are going to argue with me. I think it's something for sure to be digging into if you're Xbox, but I wouldn't push oh God, the world's going to end. It's everything right now. I would say it could turn into something that's everything, but I would if I were Xbox executives, I'd probably dig into it for sure and look into what's going on here, but I wouldn't be in panic mode at this point. I guess that's my point.
Okay. So, all right, Phil, I want to kick it off to you now.
Okay. My first question is going to be a question to your question. What does Microsoft Studios put out this year?
Hellblade 2.
Hellblade 2, which was correct me if I'm wrong, guys, it's a $40 MSRP game, but it was in development for about 7 years, 6-7 years, right?
Okay. When we're talking
talk about Hellblade 2. Right, Baron?
When we're talking about sales, are we counting overall downloads, including via Game Pass?
I believe it's just sales.
Straight up sales?
Not Game Pass, not straight up Game Pass.
Okay, so then that's why I have to actually lean even heavier into the something then.
I'm leaning heavier into the nothing in that case.
Oh, okay.
Because you are offering a racing game to people for $12 that you're going to get hours of enjoyment out of, whereas something like Hellblade 2, which is the only game that has come out this year from Microsoft Studios, as far as we can put together between the four of us, has not went on sale yet, and it is easily accessible on Game Pass for people to download that have got Game Pass. I can easily see how this would happen, that something like that could overtake it, because everything else that Microsoft's going to put out, for the most part, is coming to Xbox players and or PC players that have got Game Pass, where they're not going to go out of their way to buy a game. It's already sitting right there.
May I read out the other three that made the list as far as...
Yes, please. That's what... Yes.
I feel like you're coming at me, Sebastion.
No. I like asking these questions and I throw out other statements. Maybe it changes your opinion, maybe it doesn't. But I like that. So, the pirate game, I'm blanking on the name. Sea of Thieves.
Oh,
high up there in sales. High up there in sales is currently number 2 right now, and then number 3 is Fallout 4. And
we're counting that as a Microsoft game.
Well, technically, it's Bethesda. Yeah, it's Bethesda.
I'll say this. Oh, can I go? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Take it. I was just thinking that Sea of Thieves sales might be a little bit higher just because it did come over to PlayStation and to the Switch as well at this point. But I don't know, man. I'm still leaning closer to the side of nothing just because they, again, really just haven't put out much of anything.
I'm going to say it's everything. And what really led it to be everything for me was hearing that Fallout 4 is number 3 in sales, because what that further goes into is what I was going to say was everything to begin with, because Xbox's number one issue is they keep leaning on the fact that they are the second now biggest company on earth. I think Nvidia beat them out in terms of value, whatever. Right. But
yeah, for sure.
But you are so used to your software being embedded in everybody's world to a point to where you don't have to. I don't have to sell Microsoft because everyone has Microsoft, whether it's on their phone, their tablet, their computers, across the world, across
refrigerator,
Earth,
everything
has Microsoft. So, I mean, hell, Microsoft's competition has Microsoft running through it, Azure. Like, so now we go back to the core problem with Xbox that I've been talking about forever and 10 years. They do not know how to market anything.
Nope.
It's because they've never had to. Like, it's I mean, hell, Walmart has commercials and they don't need to. Like Walmart has commercials, damn it. Why did I not see Hellblade people walking around at baseball games?
It's fair.
Hellblade came out during there was major baseball. You had baseball. You had a lot of soccer
playoffs.
stuff. NBA playoffs. You had
NHL playoffs.
And you're telling me you couldn't had people dressed up as characters from that game in the crowd, like movie companies do for like Smile.
Yep.
Remember, any sporting event, people were in the stands smiling really hard.
Yeah.
And then this further goes to my point. You know why Fallout 4 is selling like crazy? Because of the success of Fallout TV show.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I agree.
I'm playing Fallout 76 heavily. I can't wait to stop talking to you guys so I can go play Fallout 76.
Good for you.
Because the show was that good that it made me want a new Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God I didn't put much time into 76 because for me it is a new Fallout experience.
Did you grab the DLC for it?
No, should I?
I don't know. I haven't touched it. I haven't played. Okay. I haven't played much of 76. I played a little bit with some friends, probably like 6 hours worth.
Yeah.
And it didn't scratch the itch just because there's no VATS there, and so it kind of felt a little.
Well, the VATS is there now. Like it's a different system. But my point.
Sorry.
Marketing. No, you're good. Marketing, they are not good at it.
Yep.
And the proof is in the sales. Because why isn't Hellblade? Where's Hellblade on this list, Sebastion?
Oh, it didn't even make the top 10.
I'm gonna go ahead, Roger. Sorry.
Well, I just want to follow up with that real quick. Do you think it's because of like a level of hubris on their part that they're like, we don't need to, like, our games are that good, we don't need to market it, people just know us?
No, it's not. Sure it's not that. It's an ignorance of the need to market.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ignorant. I truly believe they just don't know that they need to market. Because why do I know more about the names of their controllers than I do about your upcoming games?
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's also like they don't choose projects smartly, I believe. Like
not at all.
It's like it's almost like they go after niche audiences and then expect almost AAA level, like high level, almost. And I don't want to make it a PlayStation versus Xbox thing, but like PlayStation chooses like to make a game for general audiences, and they do that with everything. All their first party games,
and they market for general audience. You want me to prove my point? No Man's Sky had a state of play.
Yeah, so I'm like, even when they do third-party partnerships, like they do partnerships and they treat their partners right. Like the No Man's Sky thing, Suicide Squad was another one.
Of play.
Didn't nobody want Suicide Squad as a game, but I'm like, PlayStation, they threw money at it. They had a state of play behind it. Xbox, to their deficit, I would say at this point, is like, we made Hellblade, but who's Hellblade for exactly? Like,
right.
Like, can you name the target demographic for Hellblade?
Fame. Audiophiles. Fame. Yeah, Fame from Lv1 Gaming. That weirdo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it is a very niche market though. I'm like, and by the way, like I love hearing that Baron's actually into Fallout 76 because it's almost like Fallout 76 is almost the equivalent of like you finally found a person who goes to Arby's and you're like, oh, you keeping them open. Like, that's why they're in business, like, you know what I mean? Like
the mozzarella sticks and Jamocha shakes.
Dude, their mozzarella sticks are good for fast food mozzarella sticks. Like, no joke. Sorry.
Exactly. But no, like, I do think this is, like either something or everything because like Xbox, I think, needs their exclusives to hit. Go ahead, Phil.
What I was going to say is it's also, as you were alluding to with the marketing thing, Sony puts out a Microsoft game. I mean, they did that with the show. No, but like they put out, say, an Uncharted or a Spider-Man. You see a commercial for it every 32 seconds.
Yeah,
whatever kind of a channel. You look at something like, speaking of the crossover audiences, right now, wrestling is damn near as hot as it's ever been since the 1990s. And you have people like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, their company, that are doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre match on AEW. If Microsoft is smart, that's a hell of a crossover audience that you want to get into, and you pimp the shit out of that stuff. Do a crossover match with AEW, do something with WWE, do whatever. Like, take out some of that advertising dollar. I love Microsoft, which is part of the reason why I say that it's a nothing. I love my fucking Xbox. It is my console of choice. I think it's slicker than anything else out there. But their marketing does shit the bed. And the games that they put out absolutely suck as well. No, I shouldn't say suck, but like they're so few and far between that it's like...
They're for a niche audience. Like Flight Simulator. We talked about it, I think, before the break. I'm like, Flight Simulator has an audience. Roger played it. He liked it. It's just like, how many Rogers are out there though? Like that want to play more Flight Simulator. That are, you know what I mean? Like there's some audience out there. They have Aria, like, which is like a game like Civilization, but that's about to come out like in I think a month. I'm gonna be playing that, but I can't expect like 10 people like in my area to play that game.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't go down the street and tell somebody about Aria.
But then they've got a Gears of War that's in the chamber where if they don't pimp the shit out of Gears of War, I'm going to question what the fuck Microsoft's doing right now. Sorry, Roger. I've got a lot of words tonight.
No. But go ahead, Baron.
No, but this further goes to the whole...
Who is Grounded for, by the way? Who playing Grounded?
And you know what's funny?
Martin played Grounded. That's what I can tell you.
You know what's funny? They didn't even market that to the survival crafting community.
No,
because you didn't see crafting very much when they showed trailers and commercials.
Yeah.
Why didn't you have challenges? Like Valheim wasn't even fully out yet, and they were having like giveaways and whatnot for people who built the best buildings.
Yeah.
Like where is the interaction with the communities within? I learned more about trebuchets than I did
from
about
Age of Empires. Yeah,
Age of Empires 4.
Same with Civilization 2 and 3 and shit like that. Like I learned about all the medieval weapons playing those games.
Yeah, I love me some Civ. But like they put out games, and then their games are competing with themselves, like with other games in their portfolio as well. Grounded is competing with Sea of Stars. Like not Sea of Stars, but
I know what you meant, Sea of Thieves,
the pirate game, Sea of Thieves, yeah. And then like you have the Elder Scrolls Online community, like how, for sure. I love Sea of Stars, by the way, but like they're like they have the Elder Scrolls Online, they have the pirate game. Now I'm still blanking. For some reason I can't get that right. Sea of Thieves. They have Grounded, and then they also like what's the other online service game they put out recently? It was
Crackdown 3.
No, man,
recently.
They had Redfall as well. That was basically like a live service game. I'm like, so yeah, for sure. I'm like, there's only so much market share for live service games, and then you're asking those market shares to be competing with a Fortnite.
I remember the point I was trying to put out there. Okay, it's safe to assume we all have PlayStations here.
I have everything, so go ahead.
I don't have a 5.
But let me. Here's a
weird
thing.
Sebastion. I don't like the way you're looking at me right now.
But here's a weird thing. I've always had just about every console, right?
Me too.
But PlayStation has always notoriously outsold Xbox consoles. But why is it that most people have more friends on Xbox than they do on PlayStation? Like
it's a more approachable party system.
Yes.
And that is why Xbox has always been my thing. Like, especially when I got into Destiny heavy back in the day. It was easier to just press the home button and hold it, or activate the home button.
I was like, quit turning off your Xbox, Baron.
Yeah, right. No, but with PlayStation, it was a whole thing. You had to leave the game to get to like that. So it's crazy how it seems like there's more of a community in Xbox, but more people own PlayStations.
Let me ask you, Baron, are you on like do you do like TikToks or anything like that, or like when you're on Facebook, do you scroll through like the all that kind of stuff? Do you ever see anyone comedic wise make jokes or like skits about an Xbox? Or do you mostly see them saying, "I'm gonna throw your PS5 in the shower. I'm gonna like brick your PS5." You ever see someone like say like, "Oh, on the street level, like I'm doing a skit based on Xbox."
I'll take it a step further. I've never walked into a GameStop and seen anybody buy an Xbox, but I've seen plenty of PlayStation being purchased. So much so that I can almost reenact the whole situation. Hey, sir, here's your PlayStation. Make sure to hold it from the bottom because the box is not too sturdy and the box will rip. And the people walk out holding their, for those listening, obviously, they're holding their PlayStation brand new in the box from the bottom like it's groceries, heavy groceries in a plastic bag.
I got held like that last time I was at Toppers.
Hey, let's go! The gift that keeps on giving.
Low-key, it looked like you were holding like a church's chicken bag. Like,
but
you know,
yeah,
because
like
it's greasy on the bottom.
You're going to lose Roger again.
What? Are you talking about KFC? KFC? Is that what you're talking about?
Sure. We'll
yeah,
run
for
with
sure.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The herbs and spices. Yeah.
It's herbs and gerbs, Sebastion. Herbs and gerbs. Thank you.
So, Roger, I want to ask you, like, so based on this information that a lot of their top games that are on their charts this year, being that they're older games, do you feel like it's something, nothing, or everything that like the games this fall need to hit? Like they absolutely need to come out swinging.
I don't know if it's necessarily because older games are doing better. I think that whether the right or wrong, I think the court of public opinion is Xbox better come out swinging. Like the next game better be good, just because of the fact that, like, and I hate to say this because I thought Redfall was pretty fun, but Redfall kind of fell like flat, right? With the general
10-story
public.
building, yeah.
Redfall fell hard.
Redfall, I don't see there was a lot of hype going into Starfield, and then it just kind of fell flat as well. Like I feel like the court of the public opinion is that Xbox better do well, and regardless of whether or not that's legit, I think that there is this public opinion that they better come out swinging. So I do think that there better be, like, I think just from the perception, I think Xbox needs a win. I don't necessarily think that I don't think that from a business standpoint, I don't think they're in trouble.
No, for sure not. For sure.
But I think that from public opinion, yes, I think that the public opinion, they're looking for that, like, oh, there it is. There's that secret sauce. There's that game that just everybody's like, oh yeah, that's Xbox, right? Now I don't know.
For the next Halo is what they're looking for.
They're looking for the next Halo, yeah. And maybe it's the Gears game. I don't know. Gears of War game. I don't know.
Hold on. So. Gears of War didn't even have a date, dog. So I'm like, if we're skipping all the way to Gears of War,
Indiana Jones did. Indiana Jones, not a date, but this year.
I was about to say, I'm like, we ain't even got a there's not even like pre-orders right now for Indiana Jones.
Quarter.
We're in June right now. There's not even pre-orders for Indiana Jones available for this year right now.
Yeah.
So here's to follow up though, like. If their games come out and their lineup, the Stalker 2s, the Indiana Joneses of the world, I believe there's a Call of Duty and Avowed, right?
Avowed.
Yeah.
Let's say, can any of those games be afford, and for public opinion, just like you said, to be a 7 or below?
Well, 7 below, I think below a 7.
I'm saying
7.
Like a 7.
7, a 7, I think it's fine. I think a 7.
You think that's fine?
I do. I mean, I don't know. I don't think a 7's a bad score. I don't think a 7's a bad score. I worry a little bit about some of those games, but they're also very kind of niche games. That's the problem. Like Avowed, nobody's going to go out, like that player base. There's people that are going to love Avowed, but not everybody's going to go out and play Avowed. Even Indiana Jones, there's going to be a lot of people that are excited for Indiana Jones, but not everybody plays a first person, fighting game. So I feel like I don't think they're gonna score a 10. I don't think there's gonna be a game that's gonna score a 9 or 10 out of the Xbox games that are coming out. I think there's possibilities of an 8 and I think a 7, but I don't know if that's a bad thing for them.
All right, everyone, that is the end of the first half of this discussion. Stay tuned for next week because we'll finish off this conversation next week. Until then, everyone, stay safe and game on. Bye.